Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a question and answer day. I'm excited. I'm gonna call it my 2 cents because I'm always a sucker for a good pun. This is something I hope to do occasionally on this channel, just as a way for people to ask whatever questions they have, financial or not. The first is from Quinn Parker. Quinn says, should a 30-year-old plan on collecting Social Security at retirement? This is a very good question, and it's one I get often from people my age. I think with Social Security, what I am seeing is that Social Security was never meant to be a thing that built up the trust fund that is established. It was just that the baby boomer generation was such a large generation pushing money into it in their working years. And now the reverse has happened, so baby boomers are taking out of the trust faster than it can sustain. So as I look at generational growth, there's about 80 million people in the baby boomer generation. For Gen X, there's about 45 million people. The millennial generation, Gen Y, there is about 83 million people. We don't know the earnings potential of the millennial generation, and it could be pretty significant. I'm optimistic that the millennial generation is going to be paying in quite a bit of money to the system. Additionally, there's quite a bit of talk about some different levers that can be pulled and maneuvered from the political stance as far as getting more money into the program. I think we got options, and I'm pretty optimistic that there will be some benefit for the 30-year-old. It's just not gonna look the same as it is today. Nothing's constant except change, right? Let's go to our next question. This is from Joy Harris. Joy Harris says, best Vitamix recipe? Little background on this. I have had a purchase that I've been wanting to make for several years. We're talking like 5 years, and I finally did this Christmas. So my favorite recipe right now is something I like to have in the evenings when it's like an alternative to caffeine or anything. It's kind of a wind down drink. I mix in mango, almond milk, liquid stevia, and chamomile tea. Blend it all up. It gets nice and frothy. It's delightful. You should try it out. Okay, let's go to our next question. This is from Celia King, and she says, what's your take on what's happening in the stock market in the last week or so? If you've been following what's been happening lately, the market in the last year and a half has just soared. It's really taken off since Trump stepped into office for whatever reason. He will on his Twitter claim it as his own doing, but that's not quite true. Sorry, Trump. January was a pretty good month. February we had quite a bit of turbulence and ended up that we lost about 10% in the market. My thoughts are that it's simply par for the course. A little 10% blip isn't going to do too much. Not time to panic by any means. So yeah, it's par for the course. Par for the course. We are sitting in 2018, and the last time the market has corrected was 2008. We're getting on the largest stretch of time where the market has not corrected more than 10%, and so for me that's alarming, but for right now I think that the market has enough oomph behind it that this is just a small short-term type of thing, that any larger correction beyond 10% is yet to come. My humble opinion. I don't really have a crystal ball, obviously. Okay, our next question is from Bob, Connie, Bowen. What do you look for when choosing a bank? A bank versus a credit union. Banks and credit unions have pros and cons to each. What I look for when I'm looking for a bank is I'm looking for a bank that has access to ATMs and that doesn't really charge fees attached to those ATMs, because we can be here, there, or anywhere, and we might need some cash on hand. So I want to be able to access my cash easily, quickly, and without any extra fees. I like really good online access to be able to peruse my transactions, make sure that everything is happening the way that I want it to be happening. In a credit union, I use those a little bit differently. I like credit unions because when you become a savings account holder, you become a member, and the members are what the credit union serves. It's not stockholders like it is with maybe a bigger bank. Therefore, they're able to give you lower rates for car loans. Credit cards are cheaper as far as the interest rate goes. I also like credit unions to have a side account.
Probably any credit union friend that I have probably won't like this suggestion.
Credit unions tend to be a little bit behind with their technology, so it's not as fast of cash to you. I can go into my bank account and I can move money really easily just from the comfort of my phone. Rob Peter to pay Paul. In a credit union, it might not be quite that up to date with their technology. Having like a separate side savings account that I fund on a regular basis, and that becomes my emergency savings that's kind of out of sight, out of mind, and I don't have quick access to. I like to have an established relationship with both, actually, so long as it's not just stretching you too thin. Richard Hand says, Liz, don't you believe the market is way oversold and will soon settle at about 18,000? Kind of started talking about this when I answered Celia's question, but the question is basically, is the market really high right now? What we're talking about is the Dow Jones Industrial Average here. Honestly, I think that there is good economic growth behind what's happened. I don't think it's like a false high by any means. Therefore, I don't necessarily think it's going to settle at 18,000. Could it dip to 18,000? Sure, but I don't think it's going to stay there because I think that the US economy is really strong, and that even if there is that type of drastic correction, that we will recoup from that because businesses continue to sell product, people continue to buy, they're consumers. It's all, supply and demand in that manner. I am cautious, but on the optimistic side. Joy Harris asks another more serious question this time, asking, cryptocurrency? No. Just no. Okay, if you're going to put money into cryptocurrency, make sure it's just your fun money. I don't think there's any space for that in your retirement account. I think that's too much betting. Now granted, I say that now and then I get proved wrong because different forms of cryptocurrency skyrocket through the roof. We can't predict it. It's too new, it's too unstable that I don't think it has any place in your retirement accounts. I also really don't think it has any place in your medium-term savings either, where it has a place. Money that you don't intend to get back because it's too much of a risk right now. Don't put all your eggs in that basket, please. And a final question for our inaugural question and answer time, my 2 cents with Liz Hand. Mariah Steiner asks, what are the best ways to track your spending? I'm gonna give a short answer to this and then I'm gonna give a long-winded answer to this because I can. Short answer is, if you're looking for something quick and easy right now, I really like Mint. I like how it's set up. You can connect your bank accounts to it, attach goals to it. It will send your phone reminders saying, hey, you're getting pretty close to your grocery budget bill for the month, that you're just aware of what your dashboard looks like. That's a free service. As long as you're open to being bombarded with ads, it's a good program. If you're open to spending a little money to keep your spending in check, YNAB is a good option. You need a budget.com. It's a good program. It'll help you design your budget and keep up with it. Make sure you're tracking it month over month to keep all of your goals in line. So that's my short answer. My long-winded answer is, I'm one of those advisors that recognizes that life is messy and a lot of times people don't want to keep up with a budget. I kind of think that's okay as long as you do the reverse budgeting. The reverse budgeting. Instead of budgeting our way into making sure that we're making the proper choices with our money, just start saving first. Pay yourself first. And get that savings amount to where you want it to be now, and then naturally your spending will fall in line with that, with the expendable income thereafter. You get your paycheck, you save right away, and then whatever's left, it gets allocated as it does month over month. As long as you're not using credit cards or other types of loans to rob Peter to pay Paul, that should work for the majority of people. So I am a reverse budgeter. I don't love budgeting. For some people, it really works. They have the mindset to keep a budget and they like the allocation portion of that. But I recognize that there are a lot of people that actually really doesn't jive with the way that they do life. So we want to make sure, at the bare minimum, we're just saving enough, right? It's been good to have you here. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you next week.